But I'm not sure who's making the wines now.
It's another packed edition of Nigeria Diaspora Television. Hello viewers, I am Adetunji Omotola.
And I'm Chinake Wonze. Tunji, there are certainly a lot of things to talk about today, and certainly most of the events we're going to mention are not good news.
It's very sad. I mean, in the wake of the Manchester bombings, we've just had the attacks on the innocent Londoners.
Yes, after a vehicle had driven into people on the London Bridge, attackers went on a rampage with knives, tearing into people enjoying their evening dinner at restaurants and bars.
And at home in Nigeria, a group called the Coalition of Northern Youths has sent a threat to Igbos in Nigeria to vacate northern Nigeria by 1st October.
Yeah, and on top of that, they've also sent word to northerners in the southeast to come back home.
Yes, I mean, it's absolutely bizarre that people will be telling people to leave a certain part of the country. That is the height of intolerance.
You know what really makes me think about this and makes me sad is that the Igbos, yes, they're asking for, they're airing their grievances, you know, but they're not doing it in a violent manner. Why do they have to be aggressive?
Absolutely, Afenifere is a very powerful organization, and those comments will certainly put this, whoever these guys are, on the back foot.
I hope so.
To get a sense of just how and why these things happen, this past few days I visited the Johannesburg Holocaust Centre and the Museum of Genocide in Johannesburg.
So this is Heroes
1904.
1904, yes.
So over 100 years ago.
100 years ago, yes, you see. And then you can see what I just
Killed
said.
65,000 people.
People, yes, yeah.
Almost
50%
the entire,
of the Nama
80%.
nation were killed, yes, yeah.
And Nama's over
Yes, yeah.
almost over 50%.
Yeah. So this is...
That's crazy. In 1915, who was prosecuting them?
Yes, yeah, you can sit down, see the picture.
The Ottoman Empire.
Yeah, the Ottoman Empire, yes, yeah.
So they're taking them away
They're taking them away, yes.
to concentration camps.
Yeah, so we are starting with the Holocaust. You see, like the famous man, Raphael Lemkin.
Okay.
The man who coined the first time the word genocide.
Oh, he coined the word genocide.
Yes, yeah.
Raphael Lemkin coined
yes, yeah.
the word
Yes,
genocide
yeah.
in 1944.
Yes, yeah.
He's a Polish-Jewish lawyer.
Polish lawyer, right.
Who was troubled by the histories of violence against targeted groups.
Yeah.
Mainly in Eastern Europe and Ottoman atrocities against Christian Armenians.
We are the section of the Rwandan genocide, or the Tutsi. The genocide targeted Tutsis in Rwanda. This is, for instance, this is a church in Rwanda. You see, like the human schools inside. This is my family. This is my father, my mother, and my sister.
This is your family?
Yes, it's my family. Yeah,
your direct family?
Yes, my direct family. You can see. This is my surname. Yeah. So we are starting in this.
Your surname is Yaren
Kageruka, as you can see.
Kageruka,
yes,
okay.
Yes,
Kageruka.
Yes, yeah. So,
sorry about that.
yeah, they're talking about the history of the genesis of the genocide targeted Tutsis in Rwanda.
Yeah.
So this is like the ethnic groups. You can see Tutsis.
So how did you get away?
That's going to be like something, that's another story, you know.
No, but tell us, how did you get away? I mean,
Definitely,
you're alive.
Yes, yeah. So luckily I managed to escape. And
how? On a bike? You ran?
I had to run away, but it wasn't an easy journey. It was something just happened, you know. Yeah, so went through many things, but luckily I am alive. So
you went through the bush.
Yes, yeah, many things. Yes, yeah.
What I've seen today at the Johannesburg Holocaust Centre is very, very, very scary stuff, especially looking at the prosecution and killing of the Hereros in Namibia. The Armenians were killed by the Ottomans of the Ottoman Empire. Adventurers were killing the Armenians. The killing of at least 6 million Jews during the World War II, which was led by, obviously, Hitler's forces persecuting Jews for them being Jewish. And then, of course, the recent genocide in Rwanda, where a tribe decided to go after another tribe and prosecute them and create so many lies about a particular tribe called the Tutsi. It's very horrible stuff here that we have witnessed, and we hope this never ever happens again. Very sad. Things being captured that have been captured at the Holocaust Centre, which I advise everyone to visit.
Many Nigerians will recall on June 12, 1993, the Nigerian military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, annulled one of the freest and fairest elections in Nigeria's history. The elections were apparently won by Moshood Kashimawo Abiola.
And June 16th, Youth Day, is also around the corner. It marks the day in South Africa's history where the school-going youth took to the street to protest against being taught in Afrikaans and set the country on a path of change which led to South Africa becoming a democracy in 1994.
Today is June 16, 2017. Youth Day in South Africa, and we're here as Nigerian Diaspora Television to cover events around June 16. We're also accompanied by the former ambassador of South Africa to Ghana, Dr. Pulukane. He's a former student of the Orlando West High School. He was in Matric in 1976, and on the day the crisis started, he was about to write his Afrikaans Matric exams. Dr. Pulukane is here with us as Nigeria Diaspora Television in Soweto on Moheme Street, which is the same street on which the Orlando West High School is situated.
When they can hear that you have a pistol, they will throw you inside the boot. When they pick you up, you enter the boot.
You're gone.
To Brixton.
You don't come back.
Well, they are going to beat the hell out of you. Beating was a technique of interrogation. There was no psychological training that you can checkmate this person you are interrogating. You box him. Now there's an extent to which a body can resist pain. Now, in your failure to resist, you obviously self-incriminate in order to stop the beating.
You incriminate yourself.
Incriminate yourself.
And that's what they want.
Hector Peterson was shot at here. Here.
Right here. So where were the police? Are you excited? Do you want to go in and write that Afrikaans paper and finish it? If you had a chance now to finish that paper, would you do it? To finish off the exam?
Even if I acquired a PhD in exile, I feel my life was disrupted. I didn't have normal youth. I didn't grow nicely as a young person into adulthood, into parenthood. That process.
So you were Ubad?
So generally when you get married in the South African tradition, the in-laws meet, both sides, they negotiate the dowry.
It's a rite of passage.
Now, I got married in Bucharest. It was a decision between the two of us. Then we just go to
register
the council.
Was that under Ceausescu? Nicolae Ceausescu?
Ceausescu was removed after I left.
Right. But you were there under his reign.
There from first year to PhD.
How do you feel about that now that you're on your own? Are you happy?
Quite happy.
You're retired, but you're not tired.
Not retarded.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Pulukani, for sharing your experience as a student here.
And in line with our non-violent theme, we popped into the Juliet Cullinan Wine Show recently to see what was new and interesting on the wine market.
It's actually interesting. Juliet has been in this game for about 20 years. This was actually the 20th Juliet Cullinan Wine Festival, and it is a celebration or an exhibition of some of the finest wines that you find in the Southern Hemisphere, which obviously includes Australia. And what they do is they position some of the finest boutique wineries in South Africa from across the regions of South Africa. It was a really lavish event. Yeah, one of the things that fascinated me was a company that was making bottles. They used bottles as works of art, and also the decor and the whole ambience of the expo was each stand was like an artwork. So there was a lot of beautiful things, and there were models. There was a Nigerian model, very tall, that came and stood like a statue. So it was really very interesting.
I must say I love it. Such a joy. Fabulous wines, fabulous wineries, and it's so good to promote the South African wineries. We've got such great local wines. And I was just saying earlier on, it's a great market for international wines. I'd love to do the show in London, because with the Brexit, the pound has dropped, the euro is very strong. The English restaurants aren't buying European wine. So the rand is dropped and the pound has dropped. It's perfect time to get out there and take our wines.
But what was striking for me was that we met, like the lady who made the bottles, one of the ladies who made the bottles was a Swiss lady who actually grew up in Nigeria. Her parents lived in Nigeria for 20 years, and she spent 12 years in Nigeria. And we met another guy that had worked in the advertising agency, a big advertising agency in Nigeria called Inside Communications. He was so passionate about Nigeria. And across the board, we kept running into people who had spent time in Nigeria. And that was quite instructive. And of course, one of the brands that stood out for me was the very few farms in South Africa that are owned by black people. And this brand called Epicurean, that is a partnership between 4 black guys, one of them being the former premier of Gauteng, Mbazima Shilowa, and they were manning their stands. It was great to see the former premier of Gauteng manning his own stand. That stood out for me. Great wine, Epicurean. By the way, my younger brother was so generous, he brought me a material, kaftan, or rather brocade from Lagos, and I thought, why don't I just pop into this Nigerian shop in Morningside to have it made? And when I arrived there, I met this young Nigerian lady, quite interesting lady, who is a fashion designer, a lady by the name of Vicky Inati. And I proceeded to give her the material for it to be made for me. What do they say?
Where's 39?
Yeah.
Be like say my wife don't give me better food. I used to be 34. So you've been in the business 20 years.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it.
Is it tough?
It's tough. It's tough, but once you have the what you call it, the charisma of knowing how to do your things, then, I mean, you excel.
Okay. So you're happy in the business?
I am.
You have a lot of clients?
I do, sure.
Do you make clothes for famous people?
Yeah.
Obama, Michelle?
Not Obama, but I make clothes
Winnie Mandela?
I make clothes for like very prominent people in the society.
Do you get a lot of support from South African agencies or banks with regards to developing your business?
Yeah, from the bank. If you have an account with them and you approach them for facilities and you've got the necessary documents to support your stay and whatever business you are into, surely they will assist.
If you're above board. So as a fashion designer, what do you think is the most challenging thing for a fashion designer? Because I know there's a lot of manufactured clothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of manufactured clothing. At the same time, people want something, they can say
personal.
Yeah, personal stuff.
Right.
So when you create things for them, they are much, even if
made to measure.
Yeah, made to measure. Even if their price is a bit higher than what you can get in the shops, apart from designer shops, they are still happy because it's made to fit them.
Okay, bespoke.
Yeah.
Okay, and you love that.
Of course,
okay.
that
and
keeps you in the business.
You're following in the steps of
that keeps you in the business.
Mrs. Alakija, who used to be a fashion designer.
Yeah, sure.
She's now an oil billionaire.
Wow, that's good.
She's worth billions of dollars.
Well, Tunji, that's good news. Finally, now I can find someone, or at least have options where I can get my Nigerian traditional attires made.
Absolutely.
Yes, and in the spirit of spoiling myself, Nigerian attire, eating, I met a young woman, civil engineer, who bakes muffins. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nompumelelo, can you tell me how you got from chemical engineering, which you studied in university?
Well, it started when my contract ended. Right after university, I had to do a 1-year in-service training. So when my contract ended in month end of March this year, I found that I was not employed and I couldn't get a job. So I told myself, okay, I have a skill of baking. My mother used to bake. So now let me just use the skill to make money in the meantime and started business. Little did I know that I'll be supplying schools, because at first I was just selling to people by the road and taxi rank.
So how did you get into schools?
Well, when I was passing by driving, I just saw a school and I took the number. So when I called, most of the people, they were telling me that they are not interested.
Okay.
Well, the receptionist. But then I said, okay, fine. But then they are not even giving me that platform to come and show them what I have.
Exactly.
Yes. So I decided to go to the school and ask to see the principal of the school. So I went there to the schools, saw the principals, and then I pitched my services. And then they told me to bring samples, and then that's how I got to acquire the schools that I am currently supplying.
What would you say right now is the thing you need to take this to the next level?
Actually, I want to grow and expand my business now. So now I'm looking for an investor because I want to open a bakery. And in that bakery, I'm not going to be only producing muffins. There are other products that I want to bring, like cookies, croissants, fat cakes, yes, and bread, since it will be a bakery. So now I want to open a shop. So if I can only get cash injection, because that's my setback for now.
Okay. In the spirit of June 16, Youth Day, what would you say to youths out there who are probably facing obstacles like not having jobs? What would you say to them?
When you finish university, we all see ourselves working for a big company, a multi-million rand company. That's all our dream. But then I want to tell them that if they are not getting employment, if they're not getting a job, they've applied to so many companies, they must just not give up. There is a certain thing that they can do. We all have skills, whether it's crafting or baking. Yeah, but we all have a certain skill that we didn't even acquire at the university. So they must use that skill. Try to do business using that skill, even if they are making little profit. But with time, everything we tend to grow, and their business will also grow. So what I can tell them is that they must just wake up and keep moving. Try to do something wherever they are. They can start in their neighborhood and then go to other suburbs. Okay. Yes, they must just not sit at home and wait to be called for an interview. Yeah. What if that day never comes?
Exactly.
I think this young lady, Nompumelo's story about engineering muffins is something that is quite inspiring, isn't it?
Yes, and it's nice because, you know, she just reminds people that just because one door is closed, there are other doors that are open.
Absolutely.
And you need to break it down.
People got to eat, huh?
Yes.
People got to eat. Muffins, yes. Muffins are us.
Yes, so of course.
Maybe the story as written starts maybe in 65, 66, goes through to 74, about 74. So it covers the years of the Civil War, the Biafra War of 1967 to 70. And it's essentially the story of 4 friends from different tribes making their way through in Nigeria, and then the war comes along and forces them to take another look at their relationships and redefine the paths that they travel going forward. So it's not sugar-coated. We're not telling a story for the sake of telling a story. There's a sort of feel-good factor, but not quite, because that's the country we're in now. There are times when Nigeria is good, and if our football team does well, we feel good. There are times that we feel that, you know, things are not really going the way they should. So it's as far as I'm concerned, it's a bare knuckle, straight up story that you can take in any way you want to take. It depends on what your experience in Nigeria has been, and it depends on how you've related within the country and how you see the problems in Nigeria. Fun of being a Lagosian or having the Lagos life, you know, replayed, the nostalgia. You can feel that the theater, the show, was more than timely, especially against the background of the drum beat, the beats of the beating of war drums back at home. Yes, it is deep and intense. That truth is the first casualty of war. It is unnecessary. All the agitation, all the hatred, the hate speech leads only to tragedy. We just enjoy the first part of it. I've not seen the second part, but undoubtedly, this show is more than timely. The message is clear, loud and clear. It tells both Nigeria and South Africa, you get nothing worrying, you get nothing fighting. There's nothing as good as a negotiated settlement. We should keep on talking, keep on jojoing, have a sustained dialogue. At the end of the day, it is not worth it to fight and split blood.
And so soon we come to the end of another enjoyable program.
Yes, we hope you have enjoyed the time with Nigeria Diaspora Television. Please remember to subscribe, and pretty soon you'll be able to engage with us on social media. From all of us, it's Kachifo
Odabo.
Segobe.